My name is Dr. Claire Brandon, and I'm a psychiatrist that focuses on chronically ill patients that have psychiatric issues as well. And my special focus is in gastrointestinal psychiatry. So I'm really excited to be here with everybody. I'm really looking forward to being at the conference myself. And I'm hoping that in our break times here, I can help guide you through some relaxation, some meditation, and some work on how to relax a little bit more, maybe get a little bit more interested in psychotherapy, psychiatry, and mental health as we go along, to consider it as part of your treatment team, your loved one's treatment team, or if you're a provider, to think about including mental health in your patient's care. So, I just want to give you a little bit of an overview here, what we're going to think about today. A lot of times my patients think that meditation feels very overwhelming. They don't like to do it. And I'm here to say today that in this three-part series that we're going to do in our break times on mindfulness, meditation, and calming the autonomic nervous system, meditation doesn't have to be overwhelming or resemble what a Buddhist monk might do in silence and dedicate their lives to. In any GI disorder and any chronic medical condition, actually across the board, what we know is that our fight or flight response is at play at a higher rate than in the average person on any given moment. We're running away from the bear at all times, and it can feel like we're in this acute stage of inflammation and of irritability at all times. So today during breaks, we're going to learn a few techniques that I like to teach everybody, all my patients, my colleagues, my friends, to decrease the intensity of the stress response and to take back control of your autonomic nervous system. I'm going to be teaching you a few different techniques to use in situations where you might feel stressed. And I want you to stay tuned because, we're going to also talk about my favorite apps that might help you get a little bit more into the mix of this. So on our first break here, what we're going to be talking about is something called a grounding technique. And we're going to break it down for what is it, how does it help, and when should you use it? And there also is an app that I'm going to suggest for you guys to check out and try out. So first of all, what is a grounding technique? It's something that helps us to refocus our attention back on the present moment. So when our anxiety gets too much, when we feel stressed out, when our mind starts going 100 miles a minute, thinking about the worst case scenario, potentially, at the time of panic or other symptoms, we might just lose a little bit of track of our brain and bodies. And sometimes in gastrointestinal illness, that responds in the way that they're feeling urgency to run to the bathroom, might be feeling more pain. We're less feeling like we have the resilience to tolerate some of the symptoms that go on with our gastrointestinal illness. It might also get in the way of us taking our medications on time or doing things we know are helpful for us, like exercising, eating healthy, drinking water. So we want to use the grounding techniques to try to bring our awareness back and utilize our senses to shift and take back control of our bodies. So how does this actually help? When our brain jumps to pain, stress, sadness, and panic, we want to try to retrain the brain. We want to make this a practiced response initially so that it turns into a habitual response. Therefore, our brain sort of clicks in. Every time we feel stressed, it might immediately go into utilizing grounding techniques after we've been practicing it really thoughtfully for a while. When would you use this? It's a useful technique basically anytime you feel stressed. You can use this in a really focused way and make a sort of bigger deal out of it, or you can figure out ways to do it in a quieter way. You may be in a meeting and you're feeling stressed out. You may be at a dinner or date and you're feeling stressed out, or in class. And it's important to try to practice this outside of the acute situations that might make you feel stressed so that it is a little easier to know how to incorporate it and your brain jumps right to it. And you can employ it in a little bit more of a stressful moment. So, we're going to try out a grounding technique and I'm going to talk you through it here. And think about, we're going to use our sense of smell and we're going to use our sense of hearing, and we're also going to use our sense of seeing, right? So in the room with you, I want you to try to think about all the different things you can see that are the color blue. Blue can be a really calming color. It can help us refocus. It can help us feel energized. So, right now, just looking around, you may be able to see a window and look out at blue sky. Maybe there's blue somewhere on your computer. Maybe you have something blue on. I have a blue on my bracelet right now. So you're looking around and trying to find this. And as you go along, seems a little simple at first, but you're actually really trying to really distract your brain to look at different things than what your brain is jumping to and thinking about. Remember, running from the bear. Well, if we're looking for things that are specifically blue, our brain overrides and we say, oh, we must not be in distress right now. Another opportunity you can think about doing is listening for sounds that are in the environment. They might be ambient sounds. For instance, I have a sound machine outside of my office that I can hear. I might be actually listening just to music, right? I'm a violinist, so I really enjoy listening to string instruments. It sort of brings me back, brings a sense of calm. Maybe you have something like that as well that you can do and listen to. And you also might just want to look for a sound that generally you find calming. There are sounds on all kinds of apps that you can listen to, such as chimes or low ambient ringing sounds that can be really, really calming for you. And that would be a really great way to use your sense of hearing. And then finally, a sense of smell. So you might have things that are in your environment at all times that are really great to utilize for sense of smell. And I'll give you a few ideas for how to have a go pack of grounding exercises with you. They're pretty simple and straightforward because they're in our environment all the time. You might have coffee with you, actually smelling that coffee. A lot of times in perfume stores, they'll have coffee beans because it helps to redirect your sense of smell. Your smell gets confused when you smell too many perfumes. And we can use it in the same way for grounding exercises, actually. Your senses get a little confused and you bring it back to being calmer with smelling coffee beans or smelling your morning coffee. If you have a favorite hand lotion or a favorite perfume that you're wearing, you can do this really subtly, by brushing your hair, and you're also smelling your perfume on your wrist at the same time. Cologne, hand lotion, anything that works for you to be able to feel that sense of calm. There's also, you can buy lavender, put lavender in a little satchel, keep it in your desk and have it out, or smell it when you need it to calm down and feel refreshed. But all those things are really great ways to find a sense of smell and to reignite your senses so that you're feeling a lot calmer. Other things you can always use are sense of touch, right? That's a really strong sense for us. Using a stress ball can be really helpful, focusing on that, feeling the texture of the stress ball, touching different textures. So if you have something on your desk that helps you to feel, the metal sensation, or feeling some kind of a smoothness to a texture, all those things can really help you to ground yourself into that sense. And then finally, one thing that's really, really helpful, and I teach all my patients, is using temperature sensations, actually. So if you go into a meeting and you'll always get really nervous, drinking icy cold water can help you to calm that nervous system down. The vagus nerve, which is a cranial nerve that comes out of the back of our head, down our spine, it helps to target the heart and the lungs and our gut, actually. And when you're having icy cold water, that comes back into a rest and digest mode, right? Your brain and body get sort of shocked a little bit into that, and your body says, oh, okay, we're not running from the bear. A similar thing happens when you just touch something cold, or you have an ice pack in your hand or on your cheeks. And that can really help you to get a sense of calm, bring yourself back into the moment, and feel a little bit better in the situation. So, thinking about this, what apps might we use if we're just starting off on this? there's a really great app called Clear Fear, and it has a lot of these techniques, especially sound, especially breathing, and you can look at that and help yourself sort of talk out of a panic attack. It's in a section called Get Immediate Help. And it's, if you're in a panic attack, it will talk you through feeling your feet on the ground, feeling grounded in the moment, and really experiencing a sense of calm. You can do it over and over again, and you always have it in your pocket on your phone so that you can, get focused, get grounded, and utilize that. No one will know what you're listening to. You can put in headphones, and it's a great app to have with you if you get stressed out in conferences, in meetings, in airplanes and things like that, or waiting for, a doctor's appointment potentially, or a procedure. So that's the end of our first chat here about grounding exercises, ways to help yourself stay calm. Stay tuned in our next breaks, because we're going to be talking more about other techniques that we can utilize, including progressive muscle relaxation and using breathing to reset our autonomic nervous system. So looking forward to seeing you guys at the next break. Have an awesome conference, and I will see you soon.